Special thanks to Patreon supporter Derek Frost Westbrook for making this video possible. Hello ladies and gentlemen, Secure12 here bringing you another Minecraft Cold War aircraft tutorial. In this tutorial we'll be going ahead and building the AC-119K, known as the Stinger. The Fairchild AC-119G Shadow and AC-119K Stinger were twin-engine piston-powered gunships developed by the United States during the Vietnam War. They replaced the Douglas AC-47 Spooky and operate alongside the early versions of the AC-130 Spectre gunship. By late 1967, the idea of a fixed-wing gunship had proven so successful the United States Air Force was having a difficult time keeping up with demand. The newer AC-130s that had been created under Project Gunship 2 were effective, but were mostly used for armed reconnaissance and interdiction of the Ho Chi Minh Trail. Furthermore, the AC-130 airframe was in active service as a transport, vital to the war effort in Southeast Asia. The Air Force desperately needed a new gunship to replace the vulnerable and underpowered AC-47 in closed air support role, as well as supplementing the AC-130 in attacking targets of the Ho Chi Minh Trail. The Fairchild C-119 flying boxcar presented an obvious choice, having been phased out of frontline service in favor of the C-123 and C-130, and with the stock of available airframes in U.S. Air Force Reserve being sufficient, in February 1968 under the USAF program Project Gunship 3, 26 C-119Gs were converted to the AC-119G standard, initially taking on the name Creep, but later assigned the call sign Shadow. These gunships were designed as kind of truck hunters, basically designed to annihilate trucks on the Ho Chi Minh Trail and disrupt supply convoys and stuff like that for the Viet Cong. The version we have in front of us is the K model, which was known as the Stinger, which was the kind of later war version. This one obviously had a bit more advanced equipment on it, but the main kind of feature you're going to see in terms of difference is going to be the addition of some jet engines on the wings to help give it an extra bit of power and all that. In total, 52 of these aircraft were built across both variants, the G and the K, and it's a really cool aircraft. These continue to serve with the U.S. Air Force until basically the fall of Saigon, in which they were given over to the Republic of Vietnam Air Force and used until around 1975. So overall, pretty interesting aircraft, a very specific aircraft that was used only really for the Vietnam War and kind of a small segment of it. So one of those that's kind of lost to history, but I really think this is a really cool gunship, and I really love the way it came out. I think many of you guys will enjoy it, especially if you're building some Vietnam builds. But this thing is absolutely sick, and there's a lot of detail to kind of go over and talk about. But with that all kind of out of the way, I do want to go ahead and give a special thanks to Patreon supporter Derek Frost Westbrook for making this tutorial possible. If you guys are interested in supporting the channel more, do feel free to check my Patreon page. Link is always in my video descriptions, where you can go and pledge a small amount to the channel every month, and in doing so, earn a view request you're choosing. It really supports the work I do on my channel, and I really do appreciate it. Obviously, you earn the cool benefit also of getting a view request you're choosing per month you are a patron, so definitely, again, feel free to check out that and become a patron. With that, though, let's go and dive in here to take a look at the AC-119K Stinger. So getting started with here, again, as I mentioned, this aircraft is, you can tell it apart from the G model just due to the jet engines kind of mounted on the sides there. They're pretty small, basic kind of early jet engines, nothing really too crazy, but just gave this aircraft a little bit more capability, very similar to what they did with the Peacemaker and all that. We then have the front up here, basically a radio antenna here, the kind of like optics or box or something like that. It also has an infrared sight that's mounted here in this kind of doorway. There is no interior for this build as well, so that's why stuff is kind of blacked out and closed off, but obviously there would be interior behind here if you chose to add it, but it's really cool. We got this kind of infrared sight here for the targeting. As we kind of approach here along the left side, we have the guns. So that did have 20mm Vulcan basically cannons, and then we also have 7.62 millimeter Vulcan guns as well, located here in the side. So for those, and then 2 of the 20 mils, so it had a lot of capability for firing and just absolutely annihilating trucks. Moving back further, we then have, I believe this is another infrared type sight or some sort of targeting system in this back door here. And on the right side here, we do have the flare system. So this would be able to dispense flares to, obviously this being a ground support aircraft. Flares are a must to help prevent it from being taken out. But then we have the camouflage, which is a really cool thing to cover. It's got the black kind of undercolor, which again was kind of a Vietnam signature for this aircraft since it flew mainly night missions. So the black underneath there helped kind of blend into the sky. And then obviously on top here we have the traditional kind of, Vietnam camouflage with 3 tones, or basically 2-tone brown and then the green. Really cool looking design, looks really nice and clean. Obviously the National Star Insignia on the side of the aircraft, the twin booms here of the boxcar, and overall just a really cool aircraft. Like I said, this is probably one of my favorite builds I've done in recent time. I think there's a lot of great detail in it, and it's a really fun build, especially if you want to go back and try to put an interior in it. You can definitely have a lot of fun with this aircraft and add a lot of really cool, intricate little details and all that stuff. But overall, it's a really cool build. As always with these kind of large aircraft, we do have an in-flight and landed version available. So if you want to have in-flight, we have basically the in-flight model here for the aircraft, and we'll also be going ahead and covering how to build it landed as well. So those of you that do want to have both versions, you will have the availability to build both. So kind of helps putting these in your air bases or whatever you may be working on. Anyways, though, that's going to kind of do it for this overview for this aircraft. Let's go ahead and move into the tutorial by beginning with our first layer. Alright guys, so moving into our first layer here, we will be going ahead and starting with basically layers 1 and 2. Layer 1 really is just kind of a trapdoor, so I guess you can consider maybe only layer 2, but we'll be going ahead and classifying this both as layers 1 and 2. A few things I do want to go ahead and mention here is if you're completely new to my tutorials, for a good portion of these layers, we will be basically building half on camera, half off. What this means is I'm going to build the center line of the aircraft and then the entire right side. It'll be up to you guys to take the right side and copy over to the left side. This aircraft does have a lot of asymmetry when we get into kind of our middle fuselage sections, so we will be probably doing those layers kind of separately, or at least the fuselage will be doing it kind of all together, since both sides are pretty different from each other and there's really a lot going on in those areas. So in those kind of middle layers, we'll do those all together. When we get into the wings, we'll go back to basically doing them half on, half off, and I'll explain that a little bit further as we progress into those layers of the tutorial. Just note that this is going to be kind of I don't want to say a difficult tutorial, but it's going to be a little bit more challenging, as there is going to be a lot of differences. You don't have a lot of asymmetry to rely on, or you don't have a lot of symmetry to rely on. A lot of this is asymmetrical in our, especially our fuselage section. So just make sure you're paying close attention, make sure you note what stuff goes on both sides, and it shouldn't be too difficult to get through. As I mentioned before, there is going to be a landed and in-flight version. What I like to do for these tutorials, I like to do the landed gear at the end of the video. So we'll be building the aircraft as if it's in flight, and then we'll be going back and adding the landing gear at the end. So just keep that in mind. For those that do want to build a landed version, we will be covering that. It will just be at the end of the video. In addition, the camouflage, we will be going ahead and doing the black color scheme, and everywhere we have that 3-tone color scheme, we're just going to be going ahead and doing it in a green color. This just kind of helps make the tutorial a little bit easier, a little bit I guess better to follow, instead of having to switch all between these blocks and try to create this camouflage that is going to be different on both sides. When it comes to camouflage, I will kind of do a little bit of an overview of what I did for mine and hopefully give you some different angles where you can go ahead and copy it for yourself. I will not be going ahead and doing a block by block tutorial for the camouflage, and something I'll leave more up to you guys. I'm just trying to get you guys the basic general overall kind of color scheme and the build, obviously. So with that out of the way, I know it's a lot, but we can go ahead and move into the tutorial. So the first thing we're going to do here is we want to go ahead and start off with setting up this layer. Now, if you do want to build this aircraft landed, again, that is going to be an option for you guys. You want to make sure that we have our black concrete here, which is part of layer 2. That's going to sit basically 2 blocks up from the ground level. So again, we have 2 blocks of space between this row here and our ground level. So again, just make sure you have that all squared away. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to place down a row of black concrete. That's going to go down this kind of center line here, and this is going to be a row of 11. So it's going to kind of fill this section in like so. Now once we have that all filled in, or that set up, we can go ahead and then switch to our pistons. Now if you're a Java player, we have a debug stick, which is this tool here, that we can actually use to go ahead and modify the properties of pistons. For this build, I will be going ahead and using quite a bit of pistons, so just keep in mind that if we're placing pistons here, we will be using the debug stick later on them to change the properties. What that will mean for Bedrock players that don't have access to a debug stick would probably be to replace these pistons with a different block. For your job or for bedrock, I'd probably recommend taking some polished blackstone top slabs and placing down 1, 2, 3 top slabs here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 more polished blackstone top slabs. So again, Java, we have 3 upside down pistons, and then our top slabs on bedrock, I'd probably recommend placing down a row of 7 of polished blackstone top slabs, and then 2 dark oak wood trapdoors going toward the front. And that's going to be your front center line. Then moving to the rear, we're going to go ahead and place down our 3 pistons. Again, alternative can be using top slabs. And then after those pistons, we have 3 top slabs. And then we have our 2 dark oak wood trapdoors across those pistons like so. Now, once we have that done, we can go and start working our way out to the side. We'll go to this second dark oak wood trapdoor from the front here. We're going to place down a trapdoor to the side, 1 more back, and then a row of 1, 2, 3 of top slabs. We're going to go ahead and place down 3 upside down pistons. Again, these can be replaced with top slabs of polished blackstone instead. And then we're going to take our black concrete 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then we're going to go and do the same thing here with our full blocks, our same thing with our pistons going back like so. And then 2 top slabs and 2 dark oak wood trapdoors to go ahead and finish it off. Going back up to the front here, we're going to place down a dark oak wood trapdoor off the side of this top slab here, and then 1, 2, 3 top slabs. We'll then take our pistons. We're going to place down a row of 3, 2, 3, and we're going to then place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 black concrete. We'll take our pistons again, place down a row of 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to place down 2 top slabs and dark oak wood trapdoor. So basically this is what you'll have here for kind of the finalized design. You'll take basically what we do on the right side and move it over to the left side. I'd recommend going ahead and making sure both sides are symmetrical, and this is what you have overall for your top design before we go ahead and cover the one asymmetrical bit of this layer. This one asymmetrical bit is going to be up here in the front. This is going to be this little kind of sensor, radar, something of that sort, located up here in the front nose of the aircraft. This is going to be coming off this trapdoor at an angle, and again, this is only going to be on the left side of the aircraft, so it's going to come off this trapdoor at an angle. We have our black concrete block. We're going to go then wrap dark oak wood trapdoors around the black concrete block, and also a trapdoor here on the bottom. And that's really all you need to do. Pretty straightforward and simple stuff, again, on the left side only. Also, on both sides here on these pistons, we're going to place down dark oak wood signs, like so, just to kind of help them blend in a little bit better with the black concrete. Obviously, it's not perfect, but it is a nice way to kind of, bring the color, make it consistency a little bit better. So, should look like that. And again, we have that all done there. So that right there is going to conclude everything we have for layer numbers 1 and 2, and with that we'll be going ahead and moving on up to layer number 3. Alright guys, so going ahead and moving into our next layer, we have layer 3. Layer 3 here is where we'll be going ahead and moving back to kind of a traditional tutorial, doing both sides separately and kind of doing this whole layer all together. These next about 3 layers are going to be probably our more challenging ones, as we're going to have a lot of our asymmetry, and we're going to be basically set up our guns and stuff like that. So that is basically what you have to keep in mind here for these next few layers. So just make sure you're paying close attention and all that stuff, and really it shouldn't be too bad to go ahead and build. First thing we're going to start off with doing though is we're going to take our black concrete. We're going to start off with a black concrete block on top of this trapdoor here in the front, and then we're going to place down 1 more block that goes forward. We'll then place down 2 upside down pistons going forward. Again, these can be substituted out with I'd probably recommend a black concrete block and then a polished blackstone top slab, and then there'll be 1 more top slab here toward the front. So that would probably be a good alternative there. Black concrete and a top slab, or black concrete and a upside down stair here. Again, you'll have to play around with that and just kind of find what looks best. So that's going to be your front center line there, and then moving to the aft of the fuselage. We're going to place down a black concrete block on top of this trapdoor here. We then want to go ahead and go with 1 and 2 more black concrete blocks back. We'll then place down a upside down piston on the bottom here. And then again, that could be substituted out for like a polished blackstone upside down stair or a top slab. And then an air top slab back like this. And then a dark oak wood trapdoor here coming off this top slab. Now after we have that done, we're going to place down a polished blackstone top slab coming off the sides of the piston. We're going to go ahead and then place down 2 more upside down pistons here on the sides. For this, I would probably recommend placing down, let me go ahead and grab the proper stairs here, but I would probably recommend like polished blackstone stairs upside down as an alternative there to the pistons. So again, we have our pistons located right there. And then if you do have the pistons, we'll place down dark oak with signs on the side of them as well. So like that. And then we'll place down a, what is going to be a black concrete block like this. And we're going to do the same thing over here. So again, just repeat the same thing you did on the other side, just over here to this side. Again, we'll place our signs like so. And then we have our black concrete. And then we're going to take our, after our black concrete there, we want to go and then take our stone. And we're going to go ahead and place down a couple rows of stone here. So we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, and 4 rows of 3 of stone, kind of filling in this inside section. On the sides, we're going to go ahead and place down a polished black stone top slab here. Then a polished black stone upside down stair. Same thing over here, top slab and an upside down stair. We'll then take our black concrete. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, forward, just like that. Then we're going to go and stop at this point in time right here. As we will start to get some differences, but I just want to go ahead and get the back section built up where the areas are symmetrical, and we're going to go and now do the same for the front. Front here, we're going to go to the sides of the first piston. We're going to place down top side of both sides. We'll then take our pistons, and we're going to go and place down 2 upside down pistons, kind of going back, so 1, 2. Again, you can probably place down a top slab and then an upside down stair as an alternative. Then over here, we're going to place down our pistons again to the side. Then after we have that all complete there, we want to go ahead and then place down a black concrete block going back from those pistons. On the right side here, we're going to go ahead and take our glass panes. We're going to place down a glass pane here, followed by a second glass pane, and then we're going to place down a polished black stone wall, which again we'll go ahead and grab from over here, and we'll place down our polished black stone wall. We'll then take our black concrete, we'll place down 1 and 2 more rows of 3, filling in that inside section. After we have that all done, we do have a difference here on the side, and this is going to be done with a polished black stone upside down stair here, a black concrete block, and then in there a polished black stone, or actually sorry, a regular polished black stone stair like that. Now what I would recommend doing here is if you are on Java, we can actually change the properties here of the stair with our debug stick. So now at this point in time would be a good time to go ahead and type in the command /give @p Minecraft : debug _stick. Using this command here, we can press enter, and it will give us this glowing stick here. Now what we can do here is we can left click the stair until we get selected shape, I believe is the correct term we're looking for here. So yeah, right here it says straight, and we can go ahead and right click this until we get it to kind of rotate and kind of form like this in this section here. And then coming off that, we're just going to go ahead and place down a polished blackstone wall right here. And you may have to actually do it again with the stair here. Just make sure that the stair looks like that. Now after that is all done, we want to go ahead and then take our dark oak sign. We're going to place on the side here of this piston, and over here we're going to go do the same thing. We have 2 dark oak signs on the sides here of these pistons. So it's going to look like just like that there for the front. Now once we have that all done, we're going to go ahead and basically have a design that looks like this here for the front. So just make sure that correlates and both sides are lined up and looking good. We'll start off with our right side for the time being. We're going to go back from the polished blackstone wall 1, 2, 3, 4, black concrete. And then we're going to place down our red concrete block. We'll continue on with our black concrete 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15, all the way back connecting up with the side there. So our right side is really simple and easy. On the left side, however, we're going to go ahead and get into this section here, which is going to start off with a green shulker box on its side on top of that trapdoor, and then a rail directly after it. Since we are going to be going ahead and closing off the interior, we will go ahead and take our black concrete, and we're going to place down 2 black concrete blocks like this to close off that space into the inside. You could also use like a gray concrete if you want to have a little bit of contrast to the gray or to the black body, so you can use some gray or something to kind of give a little bit of contrast. It's kind of up to you guys again on what you want to do there, but you can leave the space open for interior. There's quite a bit of room if you do want to do one. However, for this build we will be going ahead and completely filling this in. Now after that's done, we're going to go ahead and place down our black concrete block here, and our polished blackstone stair, and a red concrete block. Behind this stair, if you're not doing an interior, I would also recommend a black concrete block to go ahead and cover that up so that you can't see into the inside of the build from the outside. We're going to go ahead and then place down 1, 2, 3, 4 black concrete blocks along the side here. We'll then grab ourselves a polished blackstone upside down stairs. So it's a polished blackstone brick stairs upside down like this. 2 dark oak wood fence gates come off the side here. just like this, and then we're going to place down a wither skeleton skull on the tip there to go ahead and make our 20mm cannons. And then we're going to go and continue on for black concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we're going to place down another polished black stone upside down stair, again 2 dark oak wood fence gates, and a wither skeleton skull on the tip there for those cannons. Also, we will go ahead and take a red concrete block. We're going to go ahead and go off of this black concrete block here, polished black stone top slab, and one more top slab going forward. And that will kind of start to set up basically the left side here. And again, taking a look at it from up above, this is what we should have for an overview. Again, pay close attention to those asymmetrical parts and all that fun stuff. So that right there is pretty much it for that, and everything we really have here is covered. One thing I am going to go ahead and mention also is the pistons on the bottom here for Java players. We can go ahead and go up to the pistons. We can left click them until we get selected. Should be selected extended false. We'll right click each one of these pistons to go ahead and get rid of that wood portion, and that will basically create this bottom here and kind of help with our overall shaping here of the aircraft. So just like that, and then we're gonna go do the same thing right here. Just take note not to basically replace or do the ones that we from the layer we just placed, because if you do update the block space around the pistons, which we will be doing when we add layer 4 on, they will revert back to what they normally were. So these ones we're gonna leave alone for right now, and the back ones as well we will leave alone until we get back to those until we complete the next layer. Anyways, though, that right there again is going to be it for layer number 3, and with that, let's go ahead and move on to layer number 4. Moved into our next layer, we have layer 4. Layer 4 will be kind of structured the same way that we just did layer 3, so let's go ahead and get started. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take our black concrete, and we want to go ahead and place down a row of 3. First block starting on this top slab here, and then one more block out to the sides. We then want to place down one block down the center here, and then another top slab going forward from the block like that. We'll then take our black stained glass panes, and we're just going to place down a black stained glass pane here in these corner spaces. For Java players, we can also go ahead and modify the glass pane and actually extend it going forward. For this, very simply, we'll just press down the F3 key. We'll see our facing. So in our second paragraph, 4th line says we're facing toward the south. We're going to go ahead and left click this, and we want to go and do selected south. So like this, so it's just a false, we'll right click it and it'll actually extend the glass pane going forward, and we'll do the same thing there on both sides. After that, we're going to place down another row 3 of black concrete across. This will be followed up with a dark oak with trapdoor. So just like this on both ends. After that, we're going to take our black concrete again, and we're going to place down a row of 3, followed by a second row of 3, a third, and a fourth. So it should kind of be in line here with these glass panes, like that, to go ahead and bring us to this point. We'll place down 2 black stained glass panes and then 2 polished black stone walls after those glass panes, and we're going to do the same thing over here on this side. So again, just like that. Once that's done, we're going to go ahead and basically leave this alone for right now. That's going to kind of complete our front. Now, with that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and now move to the back here of the aircraft. We're going to go ahead and go up from this trapdoor here for black concrete block. And then we're going to place down a wither skeleton skull to both sides of that block. We're going to go then place down a second block, going back. This will be followed with a polished black stone wall on both sides. Then we're going to take our black concrete, we're going to place down a row of 3 across, followed by a second row of 3, and then a dark oak trapdoor on both sides of that second row of 3. Right there is where we'll stop, as well as that's where we start to get into our asymmetry. We'll go ahead and start our build, our kind of middle sections here with our right side. Going after this polished black stone wall, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 black concrete. On the first 4 black concrete blocks, we are going to go ahead and place down birchwood buttons. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then on the red concrete here, we're going to place down one more block right here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 black concrete blocks back. We'll then go ahead and grab ourselves a black wool block, and we're going to place down 2 black wool blocks to show a little bit of a contrast, to show a door there, and then a polished black stone button like so. After that's done, we're going to place down another black concrete block in this space here, and we'll go ahead and set up our flare dispensers. So these will be located here on the right side of the aircraft, kind of basically, in these paratroop doors here. So we're going to place down 2 blocks of netherite in this location here. We're going to place down item frames, polished andesite blocks in the item frames, and then if you're on Java, we can place down dark oak signs on the side of the blocks as well. Just a side note here is that Java is the only version that's able to place down item frames and signs in the same block space. If that's the case, and you are on Bedrock, just go ahead and place down the item frames and disregard the sign there. So that is going to be basically it for our right side. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving over to our left side now. So our left side here, we're going to start off by going ahead and placing down a black concrete block in this location. We'll also go ahead and grab ourselves a dark oak fence gate, a trapdoor, and an end rod. We're going to place down a fence gate in this spot right here. We're going to open this toward the inside of the build, and then a dark oak trapdoor coming off of it, as well as an end rod coming off the trapdoor here going toward the back. Again, to kind of fill in this empty, or fill in the inside here of the aircraft, we can use our gray concrete, or again, you can use black concrete, whichever you prefer. We're going to go ahead and place down another black concrete block like so, as well as a polished black stone upside stair, and this is kind of the vents here for the guns. And we'll place down a black concrete block behind that. Again, if you're not doing interior, just to kind of close that space off and so you can't see in the inside. We're going to place down a red concrete block here, and then we're going to place down a row of 1, 2, 3, 4 polished black stone, black concrete blocks. Then we're going to place down a polished black stone brick stair here. On top of the one from the previous layer, a full block here, a polished black stone top slab, a full block top slab, full block top slab, full block, and top slab. This will be followed with another black concrete block. On the side of these top slabs as well, we're going to go and take our dark oak wood signs, and we're going to place down a dark oak wood sign on each side of the slabs. Just like that. As well as a polished black stone brick stair on top of this one here. And then we're going to go ahead and place down 1, 2, 3 black concrete blocks, or sorry, actually 4 black concrete blocks back like that. This section here, we're going to place down 2 black concrete blocks on top of the 2 top slabs, as well as 2 black concrete blocks in a space here, connecting this to that row of 4. And we'll then take our dark oak wood trapdoors, and on these last 2 blocks here on the furthest outside, we're going to take dark oak wood trapdoors and just wrap it around those 2 blocks like that. Now for this section here, we want to go ahead and grab ourselves a shulker box, as well as an anvil, and also a scaffolding block. We're going to place down a gray shulker box like so, a anvil, and then a scaffolding block right there in that space like so. We'll go ahead and also grab a tripwire hook as well as an iron bar. We're going to place down a tripwire hook here and an iron bar. Coming off this block here. Again, if you're on Java, we can extend this iron bar to actually go toward that section there. So that direction there for me will be north. So we'll go ahead and just extend that toward the tripwire hook like so, to kind of make this look a little bit nicer. Now on this inside space right here, we can go ahead and grab some stone pressure plates, and just to kind of keep the floor a little bit more consistent, we'll place down 2 stone pressure plates. We'll also take our gray concrete, and we're going to place down a row of 3 across this space here, again to close off the inside if you are not planning on doing an interior. We can also go ahead and take our gray and do the same thing here to these top slabs to kind of again close off the inside there from being able to be viewed from the outside. With that all complete though, that is going to pretty much wrap up what we have here for this layer. I'm just trying to make sure I'm not missing anything, but everything does seem to be covered and good to go. So I'll just do one quick little wrap around and make sure everything is good. And yeah, everything does appear to be good to go. So that is going to be it for layer number 4. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving on up to layer number 5. Moving into our next layer, we have layer number 5. For layer 5 to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to go ahead and place down a polished blackstone slab like this on the front slab. We're going to place down a total of, or a black concrete block here, and then a row of 3 directly after that. On both sides of this row of 3, we're going to place down a tripwire hook as well as a black stained glass pane like this to both sides. We'll do the same technique that we did before, making sure we extend the glass pane going forward like that. Again for Java. And then we're going to place down another row of 3 going across. This one will be followed with a dark oak wood trapdoor on both ends. We then want to place down another row of 3 going across like so, a black stained glass pane to both ends. The inside here, we're going to fill in with 2 rows of 3 of gray concrete if you don't plan on doing an interior. We'll have our windows that will be visible here for the cockpit, which will be a black stained glass pane on both sides, and then an air brick wall here in or to the sides. We'll then place down another row of 3 of black concrete across, a polished black stone wall here, and then a on the left side here, it's going to be a glazed terracotta block that'll look like this for the kind of patch here, or the kind of logo for the kind of squadron that these would operate out of. And this right here is where we start to get into our asymmetry, so we're going to leave it as is for right now, and we're going to come back to that a little bit later. Now going ahead and go into the tail section here of the aircraft, we're going to place down another black concrete block on top of this one right here. We'll then place down a black stained glass pane to the sides of that block. So let me go ahead and grab that real quick, and a black stained glass pane to both sides. We'll then place down a black concrete block here in the center, polished black stone wall to both sides. And after that, we want to go ahead and then grab our black stained glass, and we're going to place down a black stained glass block to both sides like that. Again, this interior space, we can go ahead and kind of just fill in with our gray concrete. Again, we'll just kind of do the same technique there. And then we'll place down our black concrete to both sides here. And then we're going to place down our black stained glass pane like this on the sides. And we'll use our debug stick here to actually extend the glass pane to go forward like so, again, for Java players. In this middle section here, I will also place down gray concrete, again, just to kind of close this area off and all that. So basically that gets filled in like so, and I would probably also grab yourself like a gray banner or something to kind of reinforce that, covering this block up as well. So it would look basically like that there for that section. Now that's pretty much all we have there for that back section, and we'll go ahead and start covering the asymmetry. Starting with the front up here, we're going to go ahead and place down, or the right side, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 black concrete again. We'll place down a birchwood button on top of this one, and on top of this one here. This section here, there is going to be an item frame, so we're going to place down an item frame. Then we'll grab our yellow bed and our dark oak wood sign. We're going to place down a yellow bed in the item frame, rotated sideways, and a dark oak wood sign again for Java players. We'll then place down a red concrete block like so. And real quickly, this black concrete block here is actually going to be a black stained glass block. So we're going to go and substitute that out, as well as a second black stained glass block here. And then we're going to place down 1, 2, 3 black concrete. Actually, it is actually going to be a row 4 black concrete. So one more, and then our black stained glass, then black concrete, black stained glass, 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 black concrete, and then one more black stained glass block like that. Then we're going to place down a black wool block, and then another black stained glass block like so. And then one more black concrete block on top of this one like that. We're going to go ahead and place down 2 more blocks of netherite, going up for this section here, and then on the sides of those blocks of netherite, we're going to go and place down wither skeleton skulls. Again, you may have to fix this glass pane if it does revert back to its previous state. So let's go ahead and make sure that gets fixed as well. And then for this, we'll take our gray concrete. We're just going to continue another row 3 if you're closing off the inside. And we can also place down our gray concrete behind these glass blocks as well, again, if you do not plan on doing an interior for the build. So just like that along the side. Now for our left side here, we're going to go ahead and get started with by going ahead and placing down a black concrete block that's going to sit right here. After that black concrete block, we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves an anvil, which we'll be using here on top of the fence gate. After the anvil, we want to go ahead and grab a dragon head. We're going to place down a dragon head on top of this trapdoor so that the face of it, or the snout, is facing toward the anvil. And then we're just going to place down a wither skeleton skull here on the very end. So it's going to look like this. And we'll then take our dark oak wood signs and we'll place them on the sides here. Actually, you can't do that. I thought you could. But it's going to look basically like that there for that infrared camera. Now, with that all out of the way, we'll again take our gray concrete, just place it behind the anvil, this section here, closing that area off. Another black concrete block here, another polished black stone stair, again a black concrete block on the inside here, closing that vent off, a red concrete block, and then we're going to place down a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 black stain, or black concrete going back. This right here is where we have our 7.62 millimeter basically miniguns. So we have our fence gate here, then a skull, then black concrete, fence gate, skull, black concrete, fence gate, skull, black concrete, fence gate, skull, and then a black concrete block. On the inside here, if you don't plan on basically filling that area in, I would recommend probably just placing down a block of netherite behind here to kind of have a gunmetal type color behind them. Just kind of helps make them look a little more like guns. So again, those are going to be your 7.62 millimeter Gatling guns, or machine guns, whatever you want to call them. Then after that's done, we're going to go ahead and place down a black stained glass block here. Again, we'll place down a gray concrete block behind that, to close that space off. And then we'll take our black concrete and just go back 1, 2, 3, 4 to this section here. For this little kind of extension off the side here of the aircraft, we're going to go and place down 2 polished black stone stairs back to back and then 2 slabs right here. Alright guys, so going ahead and continuing on here, we want to go ahead and then take our gray shulker box. We're going to place down one here on its side. We then want to go ahead and place down a scaffolding piece there. And we're going to go ahead and place down a wither skeleton skull coming off the scaffolding like that. We're also going to place down a chain coming off this block here, as well as an item frame and then a snowball in the item frame, just like that. And with that all done, that's going to pretty much complete everything we have here for the fuselage. So pretty simple stuff. At this point in time, I would recommend going ahead and making sure both sides are copied over how they are meant to be. And once you have both sides kind of copied over and squared away, we will be going ahead and moving into a segment of this build, which will house actually the start of our engines. So we do have that to cover in this layer as well. So I'm going to go ahead and grab our materials, get stuff transferred over, and we'll go ahead and work on our engines. Alright guys, so when it comes to the part that's going to be basically transferred over to both sides here, we basically have the engines that we're going to go ahead and just start with. Now we did slack a little bit on some of the previous layers here and actually working a little bit on the engines, so we will have a little bit of catch up we'll be doing here in this layer. But from here on out, we'll be pretty much doing everything all together for each layer. Anyways, let's get started here. So the first thing we're doing is we're going to go to this red concrete block. This will apply for both sides here, and we're going to build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks out to the side. So again, over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On the 6th block, you're going to place down an iron bar, and then you're going to take your black concrete. You're going to go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 black concrete blocks back. We'll then go ahead and grab ourselves a piston. We're going to place down a upside down, or a set of 2 of upside down pistons. Again, alternatives here can be polished blackstone top slabs, or I would say probably in this case I would probably place down 2 black concrete blocks if I'm being honest. So 2 black concrete blocks instead of the pistons. Then we're going to place down 2 polished blackstone top slabs as well as 2 dark oak with trapdoors going back like so. Once we have that done, we're going to go to the front up here. We're going to go off the side of the iron bar with a polished blackstone upside down stair. And we're going to go just follow this back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we're going to go back a total of 10. So it's going to end on this black concrete block here. Then 2 polished blackstone top slabs. Same thing will be done over here on this side. So just like this. And again, our 2 polished blackstone top slabs. With that all complete, we then want to go ahead and go to our third from the front stair. We're going to place down a dark oak trapdoor on the side of it, and we're going to go and make sure that trapdoor closes and lays flat on the side there. Right behind that trapdoor, we're also going to place down a skeleton skull. On the bottom here, we're going to place down a dark oak trapdoor coming off those 2 stairs, or actually the 2 stairs here that line up with those trapdoors. So it'll look like this here to both sides, and I accidentally placed this a little bit too far forward, so I'm just going to go ahead and move this back. Like so, but basically, again, kind of the same thing there. This middle space, we're going to go ahead and place down a polished blackstone slab. Now, after that is all finished there, we're going to take our dark oak trapdoors. We're going to place down 2 trapdoors, going ahead and going off that slab here toward the front. And then we're going to place down 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, going toward the back. After we have that all completed there, that's going to pretty much do it for our main propeller engine, and then we then have our jet engine that's going to go off of this. For our jet engine here, we're going to go and go off this stair here, and we're going to build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 blocks here to the side. After we have those 7 blocks built to the side, we'll obviously be starting our engine. I'm going to go ahead and again grab the same materials here, go off the stair, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to go ahead and place down a daylight detector, turn this to night mode. We then want to place down 2 polished blackstone slabs, 2 polished blackstone walls, another polished blackstone slab, and another daylight detector again turned to that night mode, so it'll look like this here. We're going to go ahead and then place down a black concrete block on this slab here, then 1, 2, 3, 4 back, so like that you have a total of 4. So after we hit that row of 5 of black concrete, we're going to place down a dark oak fence post here underneath that daylight detector, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 polished blackstone walls, and then a brick wall. We're going to go over to the other side here, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. So just like this, and then 2 black stained glass panes going back on both sides here. On the bottom, we're going to place down 5 polished blackstone top slabs on the bottom of those full blocks, and then a dark oak trapdoor to both ends, just like that. And that right there is going to basically complete your kind of jet engine on the side there, and that's pretty much it for that. Again, if you do want to make the G variant, you can just go ahead and not place down the jet engine. That is basically one of the ways to kind of turn this into the G model. But again, this tutorial is going to be focused strictly more on the K model. But with that done, that's going to wrap up everything we have for this layer. Just make sure that the engines that we did on the right side here get flipped over to the left side, and once you have that all complete, this is what it should look like from the top-down view. For probably the rest of the tutorial, we will be going back to our half-on, half-off type of design, as we pretty much completed the main kind of section of differences. There will be a few differences we'll kind of encounter here coming up, but for the most part, the main differences and stuff like that we have to worry about are out of the way. Anyways, with that, let's go ahead and move on to our next layer, layer number 6. Moving into our next layer, we have layer number 5, actually. My apologies on saying layer 6. I did take a little bit of a kind of day break between recording those layers there, so, you know, I kind of got a little messed up on my layers. But with that, let's go ahead and continue on to our next layer. To go ahead and get started with here, we are going to go ahead and place down a piston that's going to be located here on this block right here. If you do not have access to, again, the pistons, I'd probably place down a polished black stone stair with the back of the stair toward the black concrete, so it sits like this here on the front. But again, for Java players, we will place down a piston. We're going to go then place down 2 black concrete blocks back from the piston, as well as a black stained glass block, and then 3 black concrete blocks filling the space in down the center here. Going ahead and going to the rear of the aircraft, we're going to go ahead and place down a prismarine stair on top of this black concrete block here. As I mentioned before, we will be doing the entire kind of upper section, so the camouflage section will be done completely entirely in green, so using our prismarine stairs and our green terracotta blocks to make it. And we'll basically be talking about the camouflage at the end. But anyways, this is what it should look like so far. We're going to go ahead and then place down a green terracotta block behind that stair, and then we're going to place down 3 of our gray concrete blocks, again filling this inside in if you don't plan on doing an interior. And then for the roof of the interior here, we're going to place down a row of dark oak trapdoors, and then a row of 3 of gray concrete that's just going to go ahead and go on the previous row of 3. Going ahead and going out to the sides, we're going to place down another row of 3 of dark oak trapdoors along the sides there, like so. That'll be on both sides. Then going ahead and going to the rear, we're going to place down 2 green terracotta blocks, a mossy cobblestone wall, and a zombie head like so to go ahead and form the back. We'll then place down a black concrete block on top of this one right here, and then we're going to go and then go forward from it. On the right side here, we're going to place down 2 black wool blocks that are going to sit on top of basically this door that we kind of built earlier with a polished black stone, but on this block. On the left side here, there's going to be 2 straight black concrete blocks, so just make sure you are paying close attention to that difference. On both sides, we'll take our black concrete and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 black concrete blocks forward. We'll then place down a red concrete block. On the right side, we're going to place down a black concrete block. On the left side, we're going to place down a polished black stone upside down stair on top of the stair from the previous layer, as well as a black concrete block here on the inside here to go ahead and cover up that void again if no interior is done. We're going to go then place down another black concrete block going forward on both sides here. On the right side, we're just going to go ahead and place down 1 and 2 more black concrete blocks, bringing us to this section here, so we have a total of 4. On the left side, we have the polished black stone stair, the black concrete block, then we have 2 dark oak wood trapdoors, and then we're going to go and then place down our 2 gray concrete right behind it for this door here, and that is going to complete that right there. Then after we have that done, on both sides here, we will take our polished black stone walls. We're going to go forward 1, 2, 3 walls. We then want to go ahead and place down a wither skeleton skull on top of this glass pane at a slight angle, like so. In the center here, coming off this black concrete, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3 on both sides. Then we're going to place down a polished blackstone top slab, and then a polished blackstone stair, as well as a polished blackstone slab like that to go ahead and bring us to the front of the aircraft like that. With that all done there, we're going to go ahead and then take our dark oak trapdoors and our tools here. We're going to go ahead and basically start working on the wings here, or at least getting these laid out. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go to our black concrete. This is going to be the 6th black concrete block back from that red concrete. And we're going to place down a dark oak trapdoor to the side of that block. We then want to go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trapdoors. So again, this here is going to be a total of 9. We're going to go then place down a polished blackstone slab that is going to come off the side here of this trapdoor. Then 1 slab forward. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 slabs back. Then 1, 2, 3, 4 trapdoors. We're going to go and then place down another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 slabs, and then 3 dark oak trapdoors. After that, we're going to take our black concrete. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this, of black concrete. We're going to place down a top slab going toward the front, and then go in the back, 1, 2, 3 slabs, and then 2 dark oak with trapdoors. So it's going to look like that there. Once we have that done, we're going to take our black concrete. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3 over, and then on the back here, we're going to go and go to this top slab here. We're going to place down a black concrete block, 1 over to both sides. We'll then fill in the space in between our black concrete rows of 3 with basically black concrete. So we're just going to go and create rows of 3, fill in this whole space in down the center here like so. We're going to go then place down one more additional black row 3 going forward, except this row here is going to have a mossy cobblestone wall on both sides of it. After that, we want to go and then place down a another black concrete block here in the center, and basically just another row 3 going across here. This will be followed up with a dark oak with trapdoor on both sides. In the center space here, we want to go ahead and then place down a polished black stone wall, as well as a polished andesite block and a skeleton skull going forward. To the sides of the wall, we're going to place down an iron bar, and then coming off the iron bars here, we're going to place down dark oak with trapdoors and make sure we open them or close them, however you want to look at it, so they lay flat like that. With that all complete, that's going to basically wrap that up there, and we'll go ahead and continue on. We're going to go ahead and go back from this wall here with a polished black stone top slab, as well as taking our black concrete and going back a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 black concrete blocks back. This will then be followed up with 2 polished black stone top slabs. Now on this back section here as well, we're going to take our black concrete and we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4 down the center. On the sides of the first 2 blocks, we're going to place down 2 polished black stone upside down stairs. And then we're going to go and then place down 2 polished black stone top slabs. So like that going back. Then 2 more top slabs down the center here, and then 2 more dark oak with trapdoors. So that is going to finish that off there. Then go ahead and continue on with this. We're going to place down another polished black stone top slab here to the side. And again, we're going to take our black concrete, go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And again, our 2 top slabs. Then we're going to place down another top slab. Then another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 black concrete. And another 3 top slabs this time. We're going to go then place down 2 more top slabs, like this on the front here. Then we're going to take our black concrete. We're going to go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we then want to go ahead and place down a row of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So one quick change we're making to this layer here is we're actually going to go ahead and replace this last slab here with a trapdoor. After we have that all finished there, we're going to go ahead and then place down a trapdoor here in the front. And then we're going to place down 2 top slabs of polished blackstone, as well as 2 black concrete blocks. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 top slabs, and then a dark oak with trapdoor. We then want to place down another trapdoor here on the front. After we have that one placed in the front, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 polished blackstone top slabs, and then a dark oak with trapdoor. We're going to go then place down another dark oak with trapdoor here, a polished blackstone top slab, 2 black concrete blocks back, and then we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4 polished blackstone top slabs, which will it's going to be 5 top slabs and a dark oak with trapdoor. Our next row here is going to be a dark oak with trapdoor here. Then we're going to go and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 top slabs back, and then 2 dark oak with trapdoors, like that. Next row is going to be a dark oak with trapdoor. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 top slabs, and again, it's going to be 1 top slab less, and then it's going to be 3. Then we're going to place out a dark oak trapdoor here, which will be followed with 1, 2, 3 dark oak trapdoors, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dark oak wood going across. We're going to then place out a dark oak trapdoor here, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like this, going back. And actually, so it should look like this, and then we have 1 more, so this should be a total of 7 in length. Then we want to go ahead and basically go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these rows. So let me go and just verify here that we want to go and do 6. And it is going to be 6. So we already have 1 done. So we're going to then do 2. Then 3. Then 4. 5. 6. and that right there is going to complete that. And then we're going to do one more row that's going to be one less on the front. So like that. And after we have that all done, that is going to basically set up our wings and pretty much everything we have to do there. We already covered the asymmetrical symmetrical parts, so we're pretty much good to go on that portion as well. The one thing I'm also going to go ahead and cover this layer is how to do the props. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the materials for that, and I'll show you guys how to build them. Alright guys, so when it comes to building the props here, they're pretty simple to make. We're going to start off by going ahead and going to our right engine, and we're just going to go ahead and place down polished blackstone stairs like this, coming off the polished andesite block at an angle. So it's just going to be basically like this to begin with. We're going to then go 2 polished andesite stairs going up, kind of contributing to a staircase-like pattern. Again, this will be added on to both sides, going up at that angle like so. And again, going down from these stairs as well on the bottoms here. And again, we're just going to kind of do the same thing, going down. Then we're going to go off this stair with a birchwood slab. This will be done again to all 4 of these props. And once you have that done, that's basically it for the blades. You'll go ahead and go over here and we're going to do the same exact thing. So we polish blackstone stair here. There's stair. And I'm going to go and basically build this a little bit quicker, as I've already kind of covered how to do the other one in pretty good detail. So if you're confused at all, just know you're basically building the same thing that you built on the other side. So again, we'll just kind of take this across like this. We have our slab, and same thing over here. And we'll of course obviously work our way down as well for our blades going downwards. And the same thing will be done over here. And once you have that done, that's going to basically complete what we have there for our propellers. And that is all we have there for layer 5. One thing also, again, for Java players is we can go ahead and kind of go to our pistons we have on the bottom of here of the aircraft. We can go ahead and right click those. And also we have them on the fuselages here that we can also go ahead and adjust as well. So just make sure you use that same technique that we used back on layers like 1 and 2 to go ahead and just kind of set those pistons and make sure those are all good to go. So again, make sure both sides kind of get the same treatment. And after you have that all done, that is pretty much all I have there to talk about. We'll be going ahead and moving on into our next layer, which will be layer number 6. Alright guys, moving into our next layer, we have layer 6. Before we go ahead and jump into layer 6, I do want to go ahead and also mention that on the right side here, we do want to place down those 3 birchwood buttons that are going to be right there on those black concrete blocks. So just go ahead and make that simple adjustment or addition, and you're pretty much good to go. Anyways though, let's go ahead and continue on. On this forward block up here, we're going to place down another brick fence post, and then we're going to go to the second black concrete block. We're going to place down a black stained glass pane on top of that. We'll then place down a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 black stained glass full blocks going back, and then 2 gray concrete blocks on the end there. And that will basically fill the space in, kind of help start to create our canopy. This front glass pane, we'll use the same techniques that we've used before for debug stick here to actually extend our glass pane out in the directions like that to the side there to kind of make this fill in this space a little bit more. So with that kind of stretched across there, we can go ahead and continue on the sides here. We'll take our black stained glass. We're going to go ahead and go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 along the side here, and then we're going to place down a gray concrete block like that. We're going to take our black stained glass panes 1, 2 here, and then we're going to go and take our narrow brick walls 1, 2, and then we'll take our green terracotta 1, 2, 3, and then a red concrete block like that. After that, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4 black concrete, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 green terracotta, then 2 prismarine slabs, followed by, 2 prismarine stairs, followed by 2 prismarine slabs, and then also a daylight detector here on the very end. The inside here, we're going to go ahead and place down 1, 2, 3, 4 green terracotta blocks, as well as a piston that is going to sit here. Just the thing to keep in mind here is that the daylight detector will cause this piston to activate, and this can be done by going ahead and kind of modifying this here using our debug stick. So kind of doing a technique like that. So if you turn it to the night mode, it shrinks down. You can actually go ahead and use your debug stick like that. Or again, an alternative here can be to use a M-Pearl frame. That is also a good alternative here for this top section. But for me, I'll be using the pistons. But again, the M-Pearl frames are available for you and all that. So we're going to go then place down our So after this piston here, we're going to go ahead and then place down our prismarine slab, daily detector, and a dark oak trapdoor. Then in the center here, we're going to place down a trapdoor on top of this green terracotta block here, a daylight detector, make sure that the trapdoors stay closed, another dark prismarine slab, a piston, and then 1, 2, 3 green terracotta blocks like that. We'll again use our debug stick here on the right, or on the back here, right click it and get rid of that wood portion like so. After we have that complete there, we're going to go ahead and start, we're moving into our wing section. For this section here, to go ahead and get started with, we're going to place down a dark prismarine top slab coming off this black concrete block, and then right behind it, we're going to place down another black concrete block like so. We'll switch back to our green terracotta. We're going to go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then after that, we're going to place down a prismarine slab and a dark oak trapdoor. Our next row here is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 green terracotta, which will be followed with 2 dark prismarine slabs and a dark oak trapdoor. Going up to the front here again, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 green terracotta, then 1 and 2 dark prismarine slabs, daily detector here, dark oak trapdoor, which will remain closed, and then we're going to go and then place down our dark oak trapdoor here, and 2 more going forward like that. Again, we'll make sure our trapdoors stay closed. After that, we want to go and then place down 1, 2, 3 dark prismarine slabs going forward, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 green terracotta and a dark prismarine slab, just like that. Once we have that done, we're going to go and then take our green terracotta. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3 across. We'll then place down 1 block here in the center, dark prismarine stair on both sides, another black concrete block in the center, a iron bar, and then we're going to take our dark prismarine stairs. We're going to place down 2 going forward here on the sides. We'll also place down a dark oak trapdoor on the side here with the forward face here of the stair, like that on both sides there for the engine. Now, once we have that done, we're going to take our green terracotta. We're going to place down a second row of 3 going back from that row, then a third, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16 rows of 3 of green terracotta going back. Should sit and on top of these top slabs and that black concrete full block. In the center space here, we're going to take our black concrete and we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Going back on the sides here of those 6 blocks, we're going to go ahead and place down 6 polished blackstone walls. Then we want to go ahead and grab our pistons. And again, for Java players here, we'll place our pistons. If you're not on Java, probably your alternatives here would probably be a black concrete block and then a top slab instead. And then coming off the side of the pistons, we're going to go ahead and place down dark oak wood signs, as well as we're going to go ahead and place down 2 polished blackstone top slabs going back from the piston. So 1, 2, then 2 trapdoors like that going back as well, to go ahead and kind of start to form your booms here. And in addition here for the vertical stabilizers, we're going to go ahead and also skip back 1, 2, 3 spaces. So 1, 2, 3. We're going to go ahead and grab ourselves some black stained glass panes again. We're going to place down a black stained glass pane, which will be followed up with a black concrete block. So like this. Then we're going to place down a piston upside down, and then another polished blackstone top slab going back. We'll also take our dark oak wood signs, and on both sides of the piston, we're going to place down a dark oak wood sign as well, and we're going to leave it as is for the time being. This piston, again, can be substituted out for a black concrete block or a polished blackstone upside down stair. Either one will work. So that's going to kind of get that section set up there for us. And basically from this point kind of forward out for the wings, we're going to be going ahead and kind of just working on the, furthest kind of parts out of the wings. Alright guys, so going ahead and moving on, we're going to go ahead and start off by going ahead and taking our dark prismarine slabs. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 slabs across the front here. We're going to switch to our green terracotta. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 green terracotta, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 of these dark prismarine slabs like this going out to the side here. Now, once we have that all done, we're going to take our green terracotta. We're going to place down a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, like this going out to the side here. We're going to go and then place down a polished blackstone upside down stair, followed by a second stair, and once you have that second stair placed, this is going to be followed with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 top slabs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. After that is all done, we want to go ahead and take our green terracotta. We're going to place down another row, going across here. So just like this, and it's going to stop in line with this green terracotta block. We're going to go ahead and place down 2 black concrete blocks, and then we're going to take our polished blackstone top slabs and just build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 top slabs out to the side there like that. Then our next row, again, we're going to take our green terracotta. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, so it's in line with that. Then 2 black concrete blocks again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 polished blackstone top slabs. Now, this section here, we're going to go ahead and begin with by taking our pistons, and we're going to place down a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then we're going to take our full blocks of green terracotta. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then again our black concrete 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 polished blackstone top slabs. Our next row here, we're going to take our pistons, we're going to place down a row equal with this section here, and then we're just going to go ahead and extend this by 3 more. We'll then take our green terracotta 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to place down a black concrete block and then a polished blackstone up down stair, followed by a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 polished blackstone top slabs. After that, continuing on, we're going to take our dark prismarine. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4. And then your green terracotta 1, 2, 3, like this. Black concrete again. And then another polished blackstone up down stair, followed by 1, 2, 3, 4. And 5 top slabs. Our next row here is going to be dark prismarine. This is going to be a row all the way across. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 slabs across here. And then we'll actually replace this one green terracotta block with that one black concrete block with a green terracotta like that. Then our next row here is going to be daylight detectors all the way across this space like so. And we'll make sure to go ahead and close these trapdoors like so. And we'll also take our dark oak trapdoors as well and place them on the top here and make sure that those stay closed like that. And after you have that all done, I'm going to go ahead and make one quick adjustment also. We will be placing down 2 pistons here in this middle space right there. Again, the piston alternative is to go ahead and use the M portal frames. Those work pretty good for the situation as well. But we'll then take our debug stick here and just right click each one of these pistons on the top of the wing here, as those are complete, and we won't be touching those any further. So just like that, and I don't think there's anything else piston wise for us to go ahead and mess with, so we should be good to go. There are going to be a few things we're going to go and touch on still, and that's going to be needing some item frames, some black beds, some dark oak with signs, and also a snowball. Now, what we're going to start with doing is we're going to go to these 2 green terracotta blocks here. We're going to place down 2 item frames, and we're going to place down black beds in the item frames with the white facing toward the sides. We'll then also place down dark oak with signs on the side of those blocks. Then we're going to go ahead and go to the second and third slabs from the engine. So this engine here, these 2 slabs here, we're going to go and do the same thing with our beds. And of course our dark oak with signs. Just a little side note here, I don't know if it's been covered earlier, but only Java is able to place down signs and item frames in the same block space. If you're on a different version, you'll have to just place down the item frames and disregard the signs. And then on the slab here on the very end, we're going to place down a item frame and a snowball in it like that. And once we have that all complete there, that is all we really have to cover there for the wings. You're going to take that same design and transfer it over to the other side, obviously minus the different colors and stuff like that, just due to the camouflage. But yeah, this right here is what it should look like from the top-down view with this layer complete. Anyways, though, that is going to wrap up everything we have there for this layer. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving on up to our next layer, which will be layer number 7. Moving into our next layer here, we have layer 7. For layer 7 to start with, we're going to go and place down an iron bar on top of this nether brick fence post up here in the front. Also, you can take a debug stick at this point in time if you're a Java player, and you can just go ahead and right click that to go ahead and get rid of that wood portion there, and that will finish off what we have there for the nose. After that, though, we're going to go ahead and then place down a dark prismarine slab that's going to be on top of this center black stained glass block, as well as a piston behind it or an end portal framed, again depending on your version. We'll then place down a green terracotta block, and this right here is going to basically be a long row of green terracotta. So we have this first block here, and this is going to go ahead and go all the way to our back here for a total of 20 blocks in length. We're going to go ahead and place down our piston. Again, an alternative there would be a end portal frame, 2 prismarine slabs, a daylight detector, and then a dark oak trapdoor. Make sure it stays closed. We'll place in our trapdoor here to the side of this daylight detector, and then we're going to place down another daylight detector going back, followed by 2 prismarine slabs. We're going to do the same thing here for our piston. We'll place down a piston right here. And then we're going to go ahead and go forward 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18 green terracotta blocks, a black stained glass block, and then a narrow brick slab here coming off both sides of the piston. We're going to go ahead and place down a wither skeleton skull on the side of the black stained glass block, 2 green stained glass panes back, and then a mossy cobblestone wall here at the side, as well as 2 green terracotta blocks like that, and then a red concrete block. Continuing on, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 green terracotta blocks back. We're going to then place down a dark prismarine stair, 2 prismarine slabs back, and then a daylight detector like so. Again, you can go ahead and use the same technique before. Turn this to night mode, use your debug stick on the piston, and then return this back to the day mode. You can also go ahead and make sure all 3 of your pistons here are reset and good to go, as you will not be needing to mess with those any further. And that's kind of the fuselage here complete. And again, same thing can be applied to this piston up here in the front. With that done though, moving into our wings here, we're going to start off by going ahead and placing down a dark prismarine slab here on top of this one. We're going to go back 1, 2, 3, 4 green terracotta blocks, and then 2 dark prismarine slabs. We're going to go ahead and grab ourselves a dark oak trapdoor. We're going to place down a trapdoor here at the side of that slab. And then we're going to go ahead and then go forward 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dark prismarine slabs. We're going to place down another trapdoor right here, and then 3 of those dark prismarine slabs back like that. Now once that's all complete, we're going to take our dark oak trapdoors for our engine. We're going to place one on top of the iron bar and one on top of this black concrete block, followed by a dark prismarine stair here, and then a dark oak trapdoor to both sides of that slab. Going back from that slab, we're going to take our daylight detectors and we're going to place down a row of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will then transition into a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of dark prismarine slabs. On the side of the row of 5 of dark prismarine slabs, we're going to place down daylight detectors like so. Then in this section here, we're going to go ahead and place down dark oak trapdoors along these daylight detectors. So just like that. Now, we're also going to go ahead and also place a skip here in the front. So we are going to go and delete these first, or I should say the second trapdoors right there. So there's going to be a little bit of a gap there, like so. Now, once that's done, go ahead and continuing back for our engines here. We're going to place down a row of 5 pistons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, that can be substituted out. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dark prismarine slabs to both sides. After that's done, we're going to take our green terracotta and we're going to place down a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 green terracotta back. On the side of the green terracotta, we're going to build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mossy cobblestone walls, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The remainder here is going to be done with some green stained glass panes. So we can grab some from, pretty sure I used them somewhere, actually up here on the front. And we're going to go ahead and place down just 1, 2, 3, 4 green stained glass panes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, real quick for Java players, we can take our debug stick here and right click those pistons there on the bottom of this boom. Continuing on, we're going to go ahead and go back to our black concrete. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 black concrete. Going back, we'll grab our black stained glass panes. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. On the last 2 here, we're going to grab dark oak with trapdoors, and we're going to place on the sides here of the black concrete. And we then want to go ahead and grab a piston, and we're going to place down a upside down piston. Then we'll also take our dark oak with trap or signs and place them on both sides here of the piston. After we have that done, we're going to take our black concrete, and we're going to go back 1, 2, 3, 4 black concrete, and we're going to go then place down a polished black stone wall here on the very end. At this point in time, we're going to go to our very front black concrete block here, and we're going to build a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, so a total of 15 dark oak trapdoors going across, and this should connect both sides together like so. And you're going to go ahead and do this a total of 5 times. So we have 1, and we're going to then do a second or another time. So we have 2, 3, 4, and then lastly 5. So that's just going to fill in all the way across there like so. Now after we have that done, we can also go ahead and go to these pistons here on the bottom of the vertical stabilizers, and again we can right click those to get rid of that wood portion. Now with the booms out of the way and complete, we're going to go ahead and continue working our way out to the wings and building them out to the sides. Alright guys, so when it comes to working on the wings here, I actually didn't realize this, but this is actually the last layer we actually have to worry about the wings. So pretty easy ones in this tutorial, which is always nice. But let's go ahead and get started here. We're going to go to the second trapdoor here, and we're going to build a row of dark oak trapdoors out to the side of it. So this row here is going to be a row of 11 out to the side here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, like that going out to the side there. And after we have that 11 done, it's actually supposed to be 12, so we're going to go one more there. Then our next row here is going to be a row of trapdoors. It's going to go all the way to the outside here. So we're just going to take this trapdoors, and it's going to run all the way to the edge of the wing. So pretty simple stuff. It's going to go all the way across here and connect up to this side. We'll then take our green carpet, and we'll make sure to cover up any of those polished blackstone top slabs or black concrete that's visible, just to make sure we kind of keep more of a green consistency to the wing. Now after we have that all done, we're going to go ahead and then go to this section here. We're going to place down one trapdoor that goes back, and then it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 of those trapdoors all the way out to the side. At this point in time, really the only thing left for us to do is to go ahead and take a green carpet and cover up any of the remaining polished blackstone or anything like that that might be visible still on the build. So we'll just go ahead and make sure that all the polished blackstone is covered up, and we have just a nice consistent green colored wing on the from the top down view. Now one thing also to take into consideration is that on the left side here we do have this kind of national star insignia, which is going to be on this left wing and the left wing only. So at this point in time, I would recommend going ahead and making sure both sides are copied over, everything is good to go, and you're pretty much completely done with the layer. And then we'll go and talk about putting the national star insignia on this left side, and again, it's going to be on the left side only of the aircraft. So go ahead and give you guys a sec to pause and to basically build the air side, and I'll see you guys here in a sec. So at this point in time, you should have both sides basically built up and all that. When it comes to this side over here, we want to go ahead and start off by going ahead and go into this row of trapdoors. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and on your 5th, 6th, and 7th trapdoors, you're going to delete those, and in their place, you're going to place down warp trapdoors. You're going to go ahead and go from the middle warp trapdoor for white carpet, and then the ones around that white carpet, you're going to go and surround with blue carpet around the remaining sides. So it's going to look like this here. Then come off the center blue carpet, we're going to go to red to both sides, just like that. And that's going to pretty much make your national star insignia. Pretty simple stuff. You'll go ahead and just have that on the one side, on the one wing, and that's really all you're going to do in regards to that. In addition, we do have another thing to talk about, which is going to be the kind of national star insignia in banner format that's going to be on the side here of the booms. I'm going to go ahead and grab my materials, and I'll show you guys how to make those banners. Alright guys, so when it comes to making these banners, they're pretty simple to make. You're going to need a loom, 2 white banners, 4 blue dye, 2 white dye, 1 red, 1 black, and depending on what color you have this top block, so if you're going to go ahead and be doing the camouflage, you may want to go ahead and kind of hold off on this, or just kind of maybe build a couple different versions here. But for basically either the brown camouflage section, we're going to go ahead and have obviously brown dye. If you're going to be building in a green section, we're going to go ahead and keep our green dye. So you'll have to kind of pick and choose for that what you're going to do. But so let's go and get started here. So the first thing we're doing is we're going to place down a loom, and we're going to go into it. We're going to place down our white banner, and we actually are going to go ahead and need one more piece of blue dye. So just make sure you grab 5. We're going to place down our first white banner into a loom as well as our blue dye. We're going to go and select the brick pattern so it looks like this here. We'll grab that banner, put it back into our loom, remove our blue dye, and we're going to go ahead and then place down our red dye. We're going to go and then do a horizontal center line that's going to go right through the banner like so. After we have that done, we want to go ahead and then grab our black dye. We're going to go and do a line on the lower third of the banner with black, and on the top it's going to be whatever color you have basically block behind it. So for us, it will be green. So we're going to go and do green across the top, and that's going to complete this first banner like so. Pretty simple stuff there. With that banner complete, we then have our star banner, which is a little bit more complex. We're going to go into our loom, we're going to place down our white banner and our blue die. We're going to do a horizontal blue line through the banner like so, and we're going to go and then grab that banner like that. We'll grab our blue die, and we're going to place our white banner back into the loom, as well as our banner pattern, and we're going to go ahead and need to grab the flower charge. So you're going to need a flower charge banner pattern. We're going to go ahead and place down the banner pattern in there, as well as our banner and our white die. We'll get a symbol that looks like this here, and we'll grab that banner, put it back into our loom, remove our white die and the banner pattern. We'll place our blue die back in. We're going to do a horizontal line across the top of our blue, grab our banner again, swap our blue die for white die. We're going to go and then do the diamond that's in the center. So it looks like this here. We'll grab the diamond, place our blue die back into our loom, and we're going to go and then do the triangle that's going to come up from the bottom, so like this. And then lastly, we're going to go and do the lower third line that's going to be blue across to go ahead and make that star banner. Now this banner pattern is pretty simple, and it's going to be positioned on your last 3 walls here on the outsides of our booms. So we have these 3 walls here. We have our kind of striped banner, our star, and then our striped banner. So it's going to position like that. So your black should be where the black section is showing, and your green should be where the green section is showing. So pretty simple stuff, nothing too complex. We'll take our debug stick here that we used before, and also we want to make sure that these pistons here, if you haven't already, are basically, debug sticked. So like that. Maybe so that is going to wrap up everything we have there for layer 7, and with that, that's pretty much it for our wings. So kind of the large, kind of difficult portion is out of the way, and we're going to be pretty much just finishing up the rest of the aircraft. So with that, let's go ahead and move into our next layer, which will be layer number 8. Moving into our next layer, we have layer number 8. For layer 8 to get started with here, we're going to place down an iron bar on top of this fence post here, or this iron bar of the previous layer. That's going to go and complete that little antenna there in the front. Going back from this, we're going to place down a dark oak wood slab that's going to go on top of this, followed by a black stained glass block, a dark oak wood slab. We're going to go ahead and then place down a piston, then a polished black stone wall, another piston. Again, you can use end portal frames, and actually instead of this dark oak wood slab, it's actually be a prismarine slab. We're going to go ahead and then place down a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green terracotta, then 2 more pistons down the center, 2 dark prismarine slabs, daylight detector, and a dark oak wood slab. To the sides here, we're going to place down a dark oak wood slab like that, coming off the daylight detector, another daylight detector like so, a row of 2 of prismarine slabs, 2 pistons, 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3 green terracotta, again 2 pistons, and then we're going to take our dark prismarine slabs, 1, 2, daylight detector, and then a dark oak wood trapdoor like this on the side of that black stained glass block. After we have that done, continuing out to the sides here, we're going to go ahead and place down 2 daylight detectors, come out these 2 pistons here. And we do want to make sure that we probably want to switch into night mode, do that kind of trick I talked about earlier, like so. And we can also go ahead and right click these center pistons as well. We'll take our green terracotta back 1, 2, 3, or rather actually, sorry, our slabs of prismarine 1, 2, 3 back. And then again, we're going to place down 2 daylight detectors like so. We'll use the same technique that we used before, set those in night mode, use your debug stick, right click them, and then we can go and turn those back to the night mode like that. And then lastly, 1 more dark oak trapdoor here, which will remain closed like that. And then lastly, for this kind of middle fuselage section, we're going to go and then place down an end rod on top of this mossy cobblestone wall on both sides there of those daylight detectors like that. And that's going to complete the kind of forward fuselage. At this point, we're going to go and move into our booms. We'll start off by going ahead and grabbing our dark prismarine slabs, and we're going to go and go to the 3rd green terracotta block here. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3 of those slabs. We'll then switch over to our pistons. We'll place down 1, 2, 3. And on the sides of those pistons, we're going to place down dark oak wood signs. And just like that. We'll also take our green terracotta, and we're going to build back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green terracotta. We'll also take our debug stick and right click the pistons to go ahead and get rid of that wood portion. Taking our black concrete, we're going to go and just place down a row of black concrete 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 all the way to the back there. And also don't forget to go ahead and take your debug stick and right click that piston there if applicable. Now, once we have that done, we're going to take our daylight detectors and we're going to place down a row of daylight detectors all the way across this first row of dark oak trapdoors. You will have to make sure that each one of these trapdoors is reclosed. We're going to then place down 2 rows of dark prismarine going all the way across this kind of second and 3rd row. Then same thing again for daylight detectors going all the way across this next row. Again, make sure your trapdoors are closed. And then we're going to take our dark oak trapdoors, and we're going to go ahead and just finish this off with dark oak trapdoors all the way along the back here, which we'll go ahead and close as well. And once you have that finished there, that is going to pretty much wrap up everything we have, just trying to make sure we're not missing anything. And everything does appear to be pretty much good to go. So that right there is going to finish that off. And with that, really all we have left here is to kind of go ahead and move into our final layers. So with that, let's go ahead and move into our last final layers here of the aircraft. Alright guys, so going ahead and move into our final layers here, we have layers 9 through 11. For these layers to go ahead and get started with here, we want to go ahead and place down a dark oak wood fence post that's first going to sit on top of this slab right here. We're going to go ahead and then place down a skeleton skull that's going to go on top of the wall right here. And then we're going to build a block like this on top of these two slabs, a tripwire hook on the side of these blocks, and we'll use our debug stick here to actually go ahead and rotate the facing of these tripwire hooks so that they connect up to the skeleton skull. We'll then take our debug stick here and we'll then right click these two here, those pistons, and we're going to go and then place down an end rod that is going to go back from those. So real quick, I'm just going to go ahead and basically delete those, or rather I'm going to go ahead and kind of do our same trick that we did before, and then we have our end rod kind of going back here, and we'll then continue by going ahead and right clicking this, and then over here on this side we'll do the same thing. We're going to go and set this to night mode, just like that, and we'll place down our end rod like that, and then we'll place down our debugger sticker 2 sections here, and then we can set these back to day. So a little bit of a tricky process there, but once you have that set up, you're pretty much good to go with that. We then want to go ahead and grab our iron bars, and we're going to place down a iron bar on top of this slab right here, and then an iron bar that's going to go on top of this little end rod there, or that little tripwire hook. We're going to go then place down a daylight detector here, which will turn to night mode. And we're going to go then grab ourselves some flower pots. And we're going to place down a row of 1, 2, 3 of flower pots across that section. So pretty simple stuff. That's all the detailing really we have for up top there. Now moving back to our vertical stabilizers. Really we don't have anything too complex for these. But we're going to place down a polished black stone wall on top of this back block, followed by 1, 2, 3 black concrete blocks going forward. We're going to go ahead and place down 3 pistons here, and we'll use our signs here on the sides of them, like so. And again, same thing here. We'll then take our polished blackstone, and we're going to place down a polished blackstone slab going forward, and then we'll switch over to our dark prismarine, and we're going to place down 2 dark prismarine slabs, so 1, 2. After that is done, we'll take our debug stick, and we can go ahead and right-click those pistons to go ahead and get rid of that wood portion and finish that off. Then we're going to place down a polished blackstone wall here. Then we'll go back to black concrete from that wall. We're also going to place down a black stained glass pane on the end here. We're going to go up 1 pane here, then 2 more black concrete back, then again 2 more black concrete on top of those 2, and then we want to go and then grab our polished blackstone stairs, which might be easier just to go ahead and go over here. Then we're going to place down 2 stairs back to back on top of these 2 blocks like that to go ahead and make your vertical stabilizer. And actually, real quickly, this is going to be 1 lower. We're going to delete that second row of black concrete placed, and we're going to place our stairs like that. So that is going to make your vertical stabilizer, so it should look something that looks like, just like that in the back there. Now with that all the way, we basically have our cabling here. That's pretty much all that's really left for us to go ahead and actually do here. So for our cabling, it's pretty straightforward. We're going to go ahead and go up from this end rod, and then we're going to go ahead and take our barrier blocks. We're going to go ahead and go back 1, 2, 3. Now, if you do not have access to barrier blocks, they're also known as structure blocks for Bedrock Edition, but basically they're any blocks that actually are visible and they allow you to attach items to it. So we have buttons kind of coming off these ones here. Very useful for what we're going to be doing here, so if you have access to them, great. If not, then you'll maybe have to use chains or try to find some kind of alternative here. But again, we're going to be using buttons throughout this section. What we're going to do here is we're going to go and grab ourselves some stone buttons here, and we're going to place down 1, 2, 3 on the side here of those first barrier blocks. We're going to then go out to the side of this stone button. We're going to go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 of these barrier blocks. And we're going to go then place down 6 buttons on top there. After we have that done, we're going to go ahead and then go up and out to the side here for barrier blocks. We have 1, then we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, or my bad, I went a little too far here. It is going to be a little bit less than that. It's going to be actually 6 barrier blocks. So 6 like that. And we're going to take our stone buttons. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4 on the inside, and then 2 on top. And after that, we're going to then build up to the side here again. And actually, the 2 on top is actually going to be 2 on the outside. So we're going to remove those top buttons and place down our 2 on the outside. Now, after that, we want to go ahead and then place down a row of 7. So we're going to come off the side here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to place down 4 buttons on the inside. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3 on top. Then after we have that on top, or that all done, we're going to then go out to the side here again for barrier blocks. We have 1 out to the side, like so. And this is going to be a row of 6. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And our stone buttons on top. So if they actually would place, they would be like that. And then we're going to go ahead and then go up and kind of out in an angle here. So up like this and back with a barrier block. And this right here is going to be a row 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to place down stone buttons on the inside here. 1, 2, 3 of the first 3, and then on the outside of the last 3. Then taking our barrier blocks, we're going to go ahead and just go out to this off this button here. 1 barrier block, and then 1, 2, 3 back. So you have a total of 4, and then just 4 stone buttons on top there. So basically this right here is what it should look like. You should have a row of 4, kind of goes over. You have a row of 6, then another row of 6, then a row of 7, a row of 6, a row of 6, and a row of 3, bringing you to the front there. And you'll take that same cabling design and copy it over to the other side. And once you have that all done, obviously again with the same little details and the vertical stabilizer, then you pretty much have the in-flight version of the AC-119 Stinger complete. At this point in time, we will be going ahead and moving into talking a little bit about the camouflage. So those of you that do want to build the camouflage or kind of use what I did for mine, we will be talking about that a little bit in further detail, and then after that we will have the landing gear. So you're free to go ahead and skip ahead to wherever you need to go, but for the kind of base in-flight model, this is pretty much it. Let's go ahead and talk about the camouflage. Alright guys, so real quick, we kind of talking about the camouflage. I did mention at the beginning of the video that I'm not going to do a block for block tutorial on the camouflage, but more kind of do an overview of what I did, and hopefully you guys can kind of adapt it to whatever you're doing. Now, from my knowledge, all the AC-119s had the kind of universal color scheme, which was this kind of black undertone, and then the obviously the 3-tone kind of browns and greens up on top here. Now, for the browns and greens, pretty simple. Obviously, the greens, you kind of saw what I did for the build. However, I would recommend also probably using spruce wood trapdoors anywhere you are trying to represent green, as it's kind of a closer shade to the green, and the dark oak wood trapdoors do blend in a lot more with the dark oak wood full blocks, which is probably no surprise. So I would recommend using spruce wood kind of as an alternative to that. Basically, using spruce wood signs or slabs wherever you may have the green section. Now when it comes to the brown, I went ahead and used the stripped dark oak wood full blocks, and then I also used the dark oak wood slabs and stairs for the dark oak wood section. Obviously, again, pretty self-explanatory, and that's just kind of splotched in there as well. And then lastly, we have our kind of lighter brown here, which I used the jungle wood for, which I think worked really good. It's the stripped jungle wood, as well as jungle wood slabs and the jungle wood trapdoors. Anywhere that there was also brown, or whether it would be brown with the glass panes, I used brown stained glass panes, and also the andesite walls. Those are all good blocks to use for, again, kind of substituting those blocks out there. So that's what we pretty much did for that. Obviously, you can see, if you need to, you can kind of pause the video here and there to kind of see what I did for the camouflage. But it's pretty straightforward stuff. It's really only on the top here, so it isn't anything too complex or really too difficult to follow along with. And again, the best thing to do is kind of take what I used for material-wise and kind of try to build your own camouflage for you. As I mentioned, it does seem like all these are the same, so I don't think there's really much deviation in the camouflages, but I would definitely probably try to make them a little bit different if you plan on having a couple of these in one area, just to kind of, make the area a little bit more unique and all that stuff. But once you have the camouflage transferred over, or you have it where you're happy, that is going to basically wrap up everything we have for the in-flight model of the aircraft. So if you are just here for the in-flight model, you're pretty much good to go and enjoy the build. If you are wanting to build the landed version, we will be going ahead and skipping ahead to that now and talking about how to place the landing gear on this aircraft. But if you're, again, just here for the landed version, hope you do enjoy the build, and please make sure to give credit for it if you do end up using the build in any of your projects or anything like that, and all that fun stuff. But with that, though, out of the way, for those of you that want to build the landed version, let's go ahead and move into the landed version. Alright guys, so when it comes to the landing gear, we're going to be going ahead and obviously start off our newest landing gear to begin with. We're going to drop down to this section right down here. We're going to go and delete these two trapdoors here on both sides, and then we're going to go and delete this top slab and these two trapdoors. Now we're going to then break these three black concrete blocks, and that's going to be kind of the housing inside that we're going to put our landing gear. We're going to start off by going ahead and placing down a stone brick wall here, followed by one more down. I would recommend also that you kind of fill in any voids or gaps here with polished andesite or anything like that, just kind of a stone-ish color. And if you can even do it as well, also those black concrete blocks above there. But anyways, we have our two stone brick walls here, and then we're going to go and then drop down with a stone brick upside down stair, as well as a stone polished andesite top slab on the bottom of that stair. We're going to place down a polished black stone wall here, one more forward, same thing on this side, a wither skeleton skull, another skull right here, and same thing over here on this side. So just like that. We'll then grab ourselves an item frame, and we're going to be placing down an item frame with a snowball in it, coming off the back of the stair, and obviously that snowball in it like that. We'll then take our polished blackstone stairs. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4 upside down stairs, or sorry, just 3, and then same thing over here, 1, 2, and then we'll delete this one trapdoor and make that 3 upside down stairs there for the kind of wheel for the forward landing gear. And that's all you're going to have for that. It's pretty straightforward and simple, and we'll go ahead and then move into our basically engine or rear landing gear. And when it comes to our rear landing gear, we're going to be going ahead and going to our kind of engine nacelles, or basically our engine housing here. We're going to go ahead and go to this third stair. So after the trapdoor, that's kind of covered stair, we have 1, 2, and this third stair here. We're going to go and delete 1, 2, 3, and 4 of those stairs. We're going to then delete the 4 black concrete blocks, these 2 dark oak trapdoors, and the other 4 stairs on the opposite side here. Now what we're going to do in its place is we're going to place down a birchwood fence post here to both sides, and then a fence gate, another fence post that's going to drop down from those, and then a fence gate here in the center, which we're going to open up toward the rear of the aircraft. We're going to then place down another fence gate that drops down from this, and open that toward the back as well. This will have a skeleton skull on both sides. We're going to go ahead and place down another fence gate, again dropping down, open this toward the back here, and we're going to go ahead and kind of leave that as is for right now. Now for this next section here, we're going to go and skip a space back from the fence posts. We're going to place down another set of 2 fence posts like that with a space of 1 between them. We're going to drop down another fence post down, another fence gate here in the center, which will open up toward the back here. Then we're going to go ahead and kind of come down at an angle here, place down a fence gate like this coming off this one, which will open up toward the back with the skeleton skull on both sides here. And then we're going to go then place down another fence gate that goes down from this one and open this toward the back as well. This fence gate here, we'll actually go ahead and open up toward the front there, kind of help with our shaping just a little bit better. Now once we have that done, we're going to go ahead and then place down, or skip a space, and we're going to go and then place down a polished andesite top slab underneath these 2 fence gates. Again, we have that space between them. We're going to place down an anvil here and a skeleton skull going forward. We'll then place down 2 polished blackstone upside down stairs on both sides and a stair right behind those, as well as 2 stairs back to back on top of those stairs like that to go ahead and complete your wheel type design. Then for this kind of inside section here, we're going to go and grab some iron trap doors. So like this, and we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4 down the middle here, and in these spaces here, we're also going to place down our iron trap doors. Across the side here, we're going to place down 4 dark oak trap doors, which will go ahead and open like so, so that they kind of help form the doors here for that landing gear well. And then the last thing to really cover is going to be the use of some banners here, and these banners really help kind of help sell the wheels a little bit more, makes them look a lot nicer, at least in my opinion. But what we can do here for these wheels is we can actually go ahead and take these banners, so we're going to take black banners, We're going to go and do 2 of them, and we're going to go and place down a light gray line on the right side of one banner and a light gray line vertically on the left side of the other banner. We'll then take our black die, we're going to do a black horizontal line across the tops of both those banners, and then across the bottoms. And you have these 2 banner designs here. Very simply, we'll place them on the 2 polished black stone stairs on both sides, with the gray facing toward each other, like so, to go ahead and create our wheel design there. And that right there will pretty much complete the land gear, and with that, that is going to wrap up my tutorial here for the AC-119K Stinger gunship. Hope you guys do enjoy this tutorial and are able to put it to good use. It's overall a really cool build, something a little bit more unique on the channel, and one of those kind of long lost, I guess, forgotten builds, which I would say this is kind of like the grandpa, I guess, to the AC-130, even though the AC-130 was kind of entering service around the same time it was, but definitely on an older airframe and kind of a cool aircraft to kind of help fill a stopgap need for more close air support type aircraft of this role. Anyways, though, hope you guys do enjoy the build. If you guys do abuse it, I do ask you guys give me a sign on the build. This can be a thing from, obviously, the sign on the build, or a link to my channel or this video if this is pretty social media sites. Just be sure to get proper credit for the build. That's all I ask for when doing these tutorials. It helps my channel grow and continues to keep me motivated to keep on posting these type of videos. So if you want to see more and you want to use my builds, definitely be sure to go ahead and give me credit and spread the word and all that fun stuff. Again, as big special thanks to Patreon supporter Derek Frost Westbrook. As always, feel free to check my Patreon page. Link is for that is always going to be my video descriptions and all that. And yeah, that's really all I have for you guys. Thank you guys again so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been your 204, and I'll see you guys next time.